Oh, I did something crazy, guys. I painted my blouse. I decided to paint my floors because they always looked dirty to me. So I decided, well, it's too expensive to have a renovation of the whole kitchen, but while we save up for a reno one day, Lord willing, for now, I want to be enjoying what I'm looking at. So I decided to take upon this flooring project myself. So I had been doing a little bit of research in the past on how I can update my floors without getting a loan from the bank. So I decided, why not? I've got two hands. I will give it a go. I love painting, so let me do it myself. So I went for it. Nerve-wracking, yes. And am I recommending this to you guys? I'm actually just sharing the process. If you're motivated to do it yourself, you do it, you take a risk. I can only recommend this maybe after a year. So watch me, let me be your guinea pig. Let's see how the floors look like after a year. So far they're holding up well. The kitchen has been painted for, I think it's almost for a longer period than the rest of the house, and it's holding up great. So I'm just going to show you the process. So the first thing that I did for my floors, I decided to sand them first. Make sure that everything was nice and more even. Remove some grout, because I had put some grout around, so it was a bit messy. So use the sander to sand everything up. And then after that, I decided to give my tiles a good scrub. So I scrubbed them, I degreased them, cleaned them really well. So you want them to be bare and nice, so that paint that you're going to put on the tiles is actually going to stick to it. If you do not clean your tiles well, this painting process is going to fail. So make sure that you clean them. The next part after I did all the cleaning is I taped off all the edges where I didn't want the paint to go. And then after that, it was my favorite part of the whole process, which was the actual painting. So for the painting, I used Rust-Oleum paint. You can use any other paint. Since using this Rust-Oleum paint, I discovered another chalk paint that I'll be using in the future called French Chic. It sticks to everything. They have outdoor paint as well. You can paint your countertops, your backsplash, your floors. And I wish I had known about this paint before I used the Rust-Oleum paint. I'll leave the link for the French Chic paint that I found, and I hope that if you want to embark on this project, you use that paint instead of the paint that I actually used in this video. So I used two colors. I used white and gray. So the gray that I used was the Aged Gray by Rust-Oleum, and the white was the Linen White. I decided to paint my floors a gray color because I didn't want them to be too dark or too light at the same time. And then I decided to bring a bit of color out of my tiles by stenciling them on top with a white, and then I went further to distress my tiles. Like I painted, it looks so good when I painted just with the stencil, and the gray just looked nice and neat, but I went on and messed it up a little bit by distressing it with dry painting it on top with the white, because I wanted that scratchy, aged look. I wanted my tiles to look old and not new, so that if they do scratch in the future, it's an easy fix. They already look scratched already. So that's my little tip for you guys. That's why I did what I did. Not everybody would like that look. If you like a clean look, you can just paint it all gray or all white. Up to you. You can do what you can do with this by painting your own tiles is endless. It gives you a lot of options. So this is the kind of look I wanted. That's why I went for that look. I had 2 coats of the gray, and then I did the stencil on top of that. And then, because I know the kitchen is a high traffic area, for the kitchen I had about 5 layers of the top coat. I use a really good top coat for just made for flows. So they're really thin. You don't want to put thick coats. You want to make sure that the coats that you're putting on top are actually very thin. So and then you have to paint every 3 hours. So it was a process that went on for weeks for me. So I made sure that the top coat dried before I put another coat on. If it's a high traffic area, the tires are going to get wet and you don't want the paint peeling off. That for the top coat, you want to make sure you at least have 3 coats. And if you're doing it in the kitchen or in the bathroom, you want to have at least 5 coats. That's my take. If you don't want any accidents, if you want it to be long lasting. So that's why I did what I did. And so far it's working great. It's like waterproof. I put water on my floors almost every day and it's holding up real great. And then in the future, with the kind of coating that I have, you can just put it on top without sanding. So if you feel like it's coming off a little bit, or you want an extra layer of protection, it's water based, it's very safe, so good. You can always coat it. When the kids have gone to bed, you can just do that. Now I'm blabbing off again. I'm making this video longer than it should. So that's what I did. That's how I painted my tiles. Am I pronouncing it tiles right? I feel like I am. I don't know. I hope I am. Tiles. I hope this little video helps somebody. So I've told you about the process. I've told you about the materials that I used, except I didn't really mention the brushes. The brushes for the stenciling, I would use a round brush. Now that I've done it, you buy yourself a round brush. I'll see if I can leave that brush in the description box below. And just to let everybody know, this video has not been sponsored. This is just a project, and if you guys have a lot of time on your hands, depending on where you live, you can embark on this project. I hope it gives you something to do. I hope that it inspires you, and I hope that you are well. Thank you so much for watching my video, and thank you for subscribing. Thank you for showing me some love by hitting that like button. If you haven't hit the like button yet, what are you doing? Hit it. Thank you.